Welcome to Community Cocktails with Kimberly, hosted by Kimberly Woodard, a realtor for nearly 20 years with Ebby Halliday Realtors. Join her every first and third Wednesday of the month as she meets with the top community influencers to help you get to know the area you want to call home. Don't just love your home, love your community. And now, your host, Kimberly Woodard.
Welcome, viewers. It's a happy new year, 2021. Oh my goodness, I never thought it would get here. 2020 was like the longest year ever. So I am sitting here today with Gina Bolanos, and she is a licensed therapist. And we are going to talk about our New Year's resolutions. I know it's been hard this year. With 2020, such a crazy year for us all, something we never would have expected. And, a lot of us are feeling very, lost, hopelessness, I think is the word I'm looking for, of, outlooks for this upcoming year. So Gina's going to help us with making some great outlooks for this year.
Well, absolutely. It's really been such a tough year, and welcome and Happy New Year.
Yes.
So gosh, yeah, we weren't anticipating this, of course. Who could be ready for something like this?
No, I know.
And all of the phases that we went through of, finding out, and then a lot of adaptation. Right. We found ways to do things that in a different way than we had done before.
Right.
And so I think a lot of, what I kind of want to talk about is that sort of concept, but moving into 2021.
Yes.
So, so things, initially are going to look a little bit different, but, trying to make sure we really kind of see what options that we have. But it really has been feeling like Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Because we have been very resourceful, and we are getting really tired of, the same day after day.
Right.
And it's really amazing just the novelty that we have and the interactions that we used to have with all of the little things we used to do, going to the gym, the little interactions, unplanned conversations, trips to a grocery store, and little conversations here and there, and those interactions, work, coworkers, all of these little differences that we would have throughout our day that we haven't had lately. And then, of course, the things that we've had to cancel.
Right.
So, so I think that, as we go into the new year, it's definitely very important for us to actually plan and prepare for and create new opportunities and some novelty.
I love that. Something to look forward to, because so many of the things that we were looking forward to, whether it was a gala or, a, gathering, a big, family, extended family gathering, with lots of people, we just, kind of didn't do it, or we did it, a virtual one, which just doesn't have the same, kind of, feelings, and you don't feel that same engagement.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And then of course there have been, some more stressors around this time, and hypervigilance and caution, and not connecting with people, or, like the connections that we do have, that we have so much caution and safety in interacting with people like we didn't before.
Right.
So, and then, there's a lot of stuff on the news, and a lot of opportunity to watch a lot of things on the news that can be really heavy. So, so some of the things that I recommend going into this new year would be, one of the first things that's kind of my favorite, and one that I actually practice and that I share with my clients, is trying to have something to look forward to every day and every weekend.
Oh, okay.
So, like if we start with Sunday, Sunday, we can call it like literally Sunday. So that's the day that we try to make sure we get a lot of sun.
Oh.
So we have things that we do outdoors, and that's the designated day. And maybe like Mondays would be like movie Mondays. So every Monday we watch a new movie. And, like let's say you're watching a movie with your spouse. You may watch a movie that maybe they've never seen before. Maybe it was a movie that you used to really enjoy. But having a new movie to look forward to every Monday.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
And some different things throughout the week. Like, Tuesday would be, treating yourself. So it's kind of a self-care day. Or maybe even treats, literally having some treats on Tuesdays. And Wednesday, wellness, making sure you get some exercise, some physical activity. And, Thursday would be being thankful finding an opportunity to have gratitude and things to really be thankful and sharing that with other people.
Right.
And then maybe Fridays are like free play, like movies, or not movies, well, movies too, but maybe like pizza night, but it's free play, board games, some fun. And then definitely if you can have at least one day of the week with some social interaction. We obviously have our limitations, and,
Right.
We can only do so many Zoom calls and FaceTimes.
Right.
So if there are ways to try to find a safe way to interact with somebody and have some face-to-face time. So if you're walking on either side of the street with a friend and
Right.
going for a walk together, but Saturdays, social Saturdays.
Love that.
So just kind of thinking about something like that, something to look forward to every day.
That I love that idea, and never had thought of that. And thank you for sharing that, because right now, again, people are just kind of, you don't have that thing to look forward to. But if you plan that and you just plan your week every Sunday, you just put it on your calendar. This is what we're going to do. And maybe you have a family, you guys sit together at the breakfast table on Sunday morning while you're eating your pancakes or whatever, and put that list of things together, and have that fun, and then everyone can contribute to something, and it's just something to look forward to. I love
Absolutely. The novelty, having new experiences is really so important for our mental health.
that. Yes.
So, we mentioned earlier about Groundhog Day, but the thing is that whenever we have sameness and we don't have something to look forward to, it really weighs on our mental health for some different reasons.
Yeah.
There's an outlet, that we are all missing out on. But also our brains need this novelty because it gives us an opportunity to be able to be present and to be able to decompress and disconnect from the day-to-day things.
Yeah.
So like, let's say for me, I'm a counselor, I'm working at home, I have a home office.
Right.
So normally, right, I would see a client in my office.
Right.
And then I would transition from work to a completely different space, and I would have this time of driving.
Yes.
So I have this time to decompress, and then I get my eyes on a whole new environment whenever I go home. So I'm able to disconnect and see something different and interact and be focused on something really different when I come home.
Right.
But, we don't have those kind of things. We don't have
Yes.
that, absolutely.
Right.
So, I definitely recommend that if you are working at home, making sure to, if you can, have that as just a space that you are doing work and have kind of a routine of what you do to get into work and transition into work, but also transitioning out.
Yeah.
So being able to, trying to decompress whenever you've been at home all day is really difficult. So we need novelty, we need change, we need something focused that's different.
Right.
So if you're watching Netflix show and it's the same show, great, but it's different now.
Yeah.
We don't really disconnect the way that we used to. It's too much the same. Your environment is too much the same. So we really have to be very intentional about creating something really different. Novelty is key. Something different and focused. We can tune out if it's something that's familiar.
Right. No, and so many people are working from home. Some kids are still doing school from home, and yes, having to have that designated space for that activity, but then being able to leave that activity and leave that behind so you can engage with your own family that you have at home a little bit more and be a little bit more present in that environment, and maybe how you were when you were going into the office, that you were able to be a little bit more present because you were able to do that transition part. Yes, it is definitely we have definitely had to adapt to new ways to manage our own lives and just get through things, I feel like.
Yeah, we sure have. And, I can't stress I can't stress enough how much this really can affect, our mental health functioning.
Right.
If we had to kind of look at it in two sort of categories, there are coping skills and then there are outlets.
Yes.
So our coping skills, that would mean us expressing our feelings, sharing our feelings, talking. processing. And then, that helps us be able to understand and be aware of what we're feeling, what we're thinking, and then get to a place of, of solutions and maybe even shifts in our perspective. But the other piece is important too.
Yeah.
This other behavioral kind of piece, this other piece that's having to do with our outlets. Got to have both of them.
Yes. Yes.
So again, can't stress that enough. Just novelty, adventure, sometimes going for a walk and trying to discover something new, something different. Taking a different route to the grocery store if you happen to go. Maybe you're not going somewhere, to a specific destination, but maybe going for a drive.
Yeah.
Just trying to switch it up, change it up a little bit.
Oh, definitely. And there's, our area, our Metroplex, there's so many neat places to just drive through. That people, even in your own neighborhood, I mean, you can go and you can, take a look at a different route and be on a different street that you've never driven on before and been like, oh, maybe you'll even get some landscaping ideas. That's what we always drive around and get the ideas when we're about to re-landscape our house. And my husband will be like, okay, this is what I like. Can you drive by this house and this house? This is what I'm talking about.
Perfect.
So it's just, it gives you at least something, to do something. Maybe, it's not that going to the concert type of thing, but at least gives you something to do that's not just sitting in the same environment of your home, day after day. Because I think that's when people seem to feel that, depression and
it sure is isolating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess with that said, of course we've become so disconnected with each other and it feels impersonal, after a while, the FaceTimes and the Zooms.
Right.
So, again, I think it would be important to have at least one face-to-face social interaction a week if it's your social Saturdays.
Right.
But also just in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Being able to, make sure to say hi to your neighbors. And, I thought it was really cute. I know a lot of other neighborhoods did this too, but we used just sidewalk chalk and we would even leave it out and we just wrote really nice messages to each other on our sidewalks in front of our houses. And, sometimes kids would come and they would write little cute messages. So that was really, really nice.
Oh, definitely.
And somebody in our neighborhood organized a day where we would, it was just a happy hour walks. And so we would just, maybe have a drink, non-alcoholic or alcoholic cocktail and, just go for a walk and just say hi to each other.
Yes, definitely. And you never know what that other person's feeling that day. And this could brighten their day. Your neighbor who's been, maybe has some issues where they're a little bit more staying home more than venturing out as much. And they do have that isolation, but just seeing a face makes such a difference. I feel like, it brightens people's day. And, I know if I'm down and I see, maybe a face or someone, makes I see someone that I haven't seen in a long time, that can brighten my day and my whole outlook is different.
Absolutely.
So I love, adding that in there and trying to find that time because I also feel like FaceTime and Zoom, people can hide their feelings. Whereas when you see that person in person, it's very hard to hide if you know that person pretty well. You can kind of see something, in their body language, but on a FaceTime, you can put your phone on whatever.
Sure.
And then sometimes on Zooms, people they don't even put their face on it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's depending on the group. So
yeah, it does. It does feel a little more disconnected for sure.
yeah.
And it's funny how whenever we wear our masks, we're covered up, so
You can't tell who anyone is.
you can't tell who anyone is. And if you're in a grocery store, you're walking, you see people smile at you. We don't see that anymore.
No.
And it's hard to see a smile here. So I like to recommend to people to make eye contact and wave.
Yes.
That's not something we would normally do, but we're not greeting right here anymore. We don't see it.
We don't. And speaking of the grocery store, I used to go in and half the time I'd go grocery shopping, even if I knew I only needed 3 things, I'd end up spending more time in the grocery store because I'd run into people and, chit chatting, maybe that little social, interaction like we were talking before. But it was just, I got to engage with, people, and maybe I hadn't seen that person in a long time, and we ran into each other in the store. But now with the masks, you can't tell who's who anymore. And then if you add your sunglasses on there, you don't look.
It's true. It's very true.
So, I mean, good and bad, I would say, if you don't want to be seen, that, hey, there you go. There's your outfit.
Makeup on and sure.
But if you do, if we're missing that engagement. So, and, I think, again, I love your week, for each day having that theme, I would say a theme, for that day, and is so fun. It's just makes, so I don't know about y'all viewers, but I hope so. I am going to get cracking on, ours for our family and have the kids input and, do, something, fun, have something fun to look forward to.
Absolutely.
I love it. Love that idea.
I think that there really can be a lot of things to look forward to.
Yes.
Going, as we're, starting this new year, there really is a lot behind us.
Right.
And a lot that we didn't expect. I think it's important to take some time to think about all of the things that we gained, what we learned, how we were challenged, and how we overcame. Because we did. We survived something that no one had ever been through before, and we collectively survived through it. We know how to talk about this experience with everybody.
Yep.
There are some things that maybe Houston went through with a flood, or that Texas, that Dallas went through with a tornado.
Right.
But right now, in the world, we are all completely connected with a very similar experience, regardless of age or socioeconomic. We are completely on the same page, so we can share, and we can also share what we've learned, and maybe even things that other people did that can help us.
Yes.
So definitely a lot that we've learned.
Yes. Well, I love all the ideas that you've shared. I love, this year's outlook and New Year's resolutions are a little different than in the past, but it's more, building ourselves and, building some excitement in our lives. Because we don't know what the future is going to hold this year. Hopefully, we're on a uphill for a brighter 2021, but building some antidotes throughout the week to have us having some looking forward to, and hopefully by mid-year we'll have some of those events back in place.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Gina. I really appreciate it. And if you need to contact Gina, we'll have her contact information down at the podcast. She helps with children, families, adults, so all around the North Texas area. So thank you so much. And cheers to
Happy New Year.
2021.
Yes.
Woo!
Finding a lot to look forward to.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to contact Kimberly with your real estate needs, you can reach her at kimberlywoodard.ebby.com. We hope you enjoyed our guest this week, and remember, don't just love your home, love your community.